This is the Logitech gcloud. This is the Steam Deck. And in some ways, I actually think that for most people, the gcloud is probably a better device. And it's a completely different device. And that's reflected mostly in the price tag. When you take a look at the Steam Deck, this is basically a handheld computer built around the Steam library, built on Linux. And there's some customization, there's some things you can do, there's a lot of tweaking you can do, there's a lot of back doors that you can access to try and make things work. But largely, you are not really have a full access to the library on Steam. And there are ways you can do things like add, Xbox cloud gaming on there, and there's other things you can do. You also, a lot of people like to use it for emulation. And it's cool because you can get up to 512 storage, you can put in up to like a 2 terabyte SD card. There's some cool stuff you can do with it. I mean, heck, these are both touch panels. It's got really nice haptics, vibration motors. Sucker can put out some serious heat out the top of it. But basically, it's like a portable gaming computer in your hands. And it's great for a lot of people. And then you talk about the Logitech gcloud. It's slimmed down, it's more pedestrian looking. You can look here, and it looks an awful lot like a Nintendo Switch. And I wouldn't fault you if you confuse it for one, but it's not a Nintendo Switch. So basically what this is it's kind of in the middle. You have the Nintendo Switch, it runs Nintendo games. You have the Steam Deck, it runs Steam games, and you can add other libraries and stuff on there. And then you have the gcloud, which runs Android. So not only is this, well, it's capable of emulation, if you can get some emulators and you can put some emulator files on there, but it's designed to be a handheld streaming console, but it's also an Android handheld gaming tablet. So you get Android stuff, you get the GeForce Now stuff, you get Steam Direct. Is that what it's called? Steam Link. Yes, Steam Link. You can use a Steam Link. And so basically, I just started using this recently. Steam Link is cool because it's effectively like remote play for your computer. So if you're on the same network, if you've got Steam set up on your gaming computer does all the horsepower, and this is basically like your portable access so you can play it from the other room, and it works pretty seamlessly. So let me put my pen in real quick. Everybody sees that. But it's really nice because you've got the little spindle on the front of it. You've got built into it, you've got Xbox Cloud Gaming. You've also got your Steam Link, which is nice. That's already built in. You got the NVIDIA GeForce. So you've got access to all these different ways to stream games. But then you can also go into the Play Store. Anything you've already bought on your Android phone, you can download and play on here mostly. And some of them actually support controller configuration stuff. So you can play things like, you can play Fortnite on here, you can play Apex on here, you can play Diablo Immortal on here, and it's only got a Snapdragon 7 series processor in it. So don't expect Snapdragon 888 level support whenever it, 888, 8th generation 2, all that good stuff. You're not going to have the highest level of power for onboard gaming. And there's a difference between onboard gaming and Steam gaming, or streaming. Because when it comes to onboard gaming, you're using the hardware on the actual gcloud to power it. And it's got decent speakers, you've got stereo speakers on here, you've got the traditional keyboard setup, or control setup, D-pad, you've got both of the joysticks, A, B, X, Y, L, and R, you've got the shoulder buttons, and it's nice because at any time you're in a game, you just hit the menu button, and it takes you back, and I'm actually streaming Quake on here right now. So, when you play this, as a streaming console, it's pretty good. And I play a lot of stuff on here, access to my Xbox Cloud Gaming, and that's kind of the big component here. And that's really was the driving factor for me to get it. My kids steal my Xbox all the time. I really am lazy and I don't want to go through the process of trying to add it onto my Steam Deck. I tried, I got access to it, but it really didn't size things right. It was having issues with the controls. It really was kind of like, I don't know, it just felt kind of jerry-rigged. It just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. I'm sure some people are running it just fine. But there's a lot of games on the Steam Deck I still can't play, mostly because of anti-cheat stuff, because of the software stuff and the way it's built on Linux versus a lot of it's PC-driven when you play on the PC side. Case in point, I played Dead by Daylight a lot. I love the game, and you can't play it on the Steam Deck because of the anti-cheat software it uses. It gets booted out. Like, you can install the game, but then when you try and log in and play, it kicks you out. Or Fall Guys. I had to do all this workaround stuff to get it to work. So if you really like to get into that stuff, you can do that on your Steam Deck all day long. If you just want to play cloud-based games, if you just want to play your Xbox streaming games on here, if you want to use it up and set it with playing your Steam library on your PC, it's fantastic for that. I mean, I've been playing some other games like Dead by Daylight on here. Why? Because I can run it on my PC, and then you play it here, and the latency on your home network is usually pretty good. It's not necessarily so much internet driven. So the Steam gaming, the stream gaming on here, that's two different things, by the way, because Steam library and then also your stream stuff, it works pretty well. If you really, really, really rely on a lot of like hairpin precision responsiveness, that's the only thing that kind of gets you. And for me, just an illustration here is when I play Dead by Daylight, there are some skill checks that you have to do, and it'll be this little spindle thing that goes around really quick, and you have to stop it within a certain amount of time. Otherwise, you cause like an explosion trying to fix a generator, notifies the bad guy where you're at, you're dead meat, right? So it's very hard to time that because it's not instantaneous like it would be if you were playing natively on your console or on your PC. But if you don't need those hair trigger reflex responses, it's actually a really enjoyable way to play stuff, and you can do it on the cheap because this little handheld console is $299. But then also, like I said, you have access to your Android Play Store stuff. I've got Sonic the Hedgehog, Diablo Immortal, a couple different games on here that are fun to play. And the ergonomics are really good too, which also is a nice selling point. So when you look at it all-in-one kind of thing, very simplistic, has access to a lot of elevated platforms. You can access your Xbox streaming stuff. You can access your Steam library. This Steam Stream thing is really killing me, this video. But it allows you to do that stuff, and it works out pretty well. 7-inch screen also, 60 hertz refresh rate. It says you can get up to about 12, 13 hours of gameplay. I don't think you're going to get that. I haven't gotten that, but I think pretty confidently you can get 5 or 6 out of it. Especially you can manipulate things, turn the sound down, turn the brightness down, blah, blah, blah. There are ways you can extend your gameplay. And also depending on what you're playing. If you're just playing Sonic the Hedgehog from the Google Play Store on here, that's a lot less intensive than playing, let's say, I don't know, Quake or playing Fortnite. So those things are much more intensive, or they require more horsepower. That's going to degrade the battery life on your overall experience. But from a daily usage perspective, from a streaming quality perspective, from a simplicity perspective, and price component, I like it a lot. Bought it with my own money. I mean, these people don't send me anything. Logitech doesn't send me stuff. I don't get a lot of stuff from a lot of companies. I'm just a really big tech nerd and enthusiast, and I have been a handheld gamer for like ever. And I've got a video I'm going to make. I actually have this thing called the Analog Pocket that basically looks like a modern version of the Game Boy, and I've got Game Boy emulator, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo, some cool stuff on there. Except it's like a modern OLED panel. It has a built-in rechargeable battery. Like, I have been all about handheld portable gaming since I was a kid. I mean, I got my first Game Boy when I was like 8, 9 years old, and I've been all about portable gaming ever since. And I spent almost 17 years in the military. I traveled all over the world. I have always been an advocate for portable electronics devices, and I still, of course, am now. So when I saw this, I saw it at CES, got some hands-on time with it. I thought, man, this is pretty cool. Let me check this out when I get home. $299. You can get it at Best Buy. You can order it from Amazon. So very easy to get access to it. You can pick it up locally, unlike a Steam Deck where you got to wait for one to show up. They were backlogged for forever. It took forever for me to get mine. So I know that's largely ironed out now. But very streamlined, very simplistic, and I think that it works well. I've really been enjoying using it. I keep it by my bedside. It's convenient to play some stuff, especially when I don't want to go sit at my computer. Like, there's a lot of times where I just want to play something casually. I'll play with my kids. I don't want to go sit at the computer. I make videos. I'm at the computer all the time. I hate just sitting here, mouse and keyboard all the time. I've always been a PC and a console player, and I've always been a handheld gamer for the longest time. Even back when we had the Game Gear that you had to put 6 AA batteries in that basically lasted an hour and a half, right? So, new world, new technology, some cool stuff here, and I think that it's worthwhile. I mean, set your expectations, manage them. It's $299. This is not like an Xbox One in your pocket, but it allows you to have some of that elevated gameplay on the go, at home, and of course, you're going to need to have a connection for this too. Like, you got to have internet. If you don't have Wi-Fi, it's basically not any good to you at all because you need to be able to stream. So you got to have a good quality connection to make sure you can do that. This isn't something you can take on the airplane and connect to their rinky-dink Wi-Fi and be like, okay, I'm going to play my game while I'm at 36,000 feet. It doesn't work out that way. It's not like the Steam Deck where you can just install a game on there. Like, you can't just install the new Dead Space. You can't just install Final Phasmophobia, stuff like that. It doesn't work that way. It mostly is a streaming-based console, but they did a good, thoughtful job with it, and I like it. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please go down in the comment section. I will get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, if you found this helpful, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.